Test, test, test. Hello. Test, test. Welcome everybody into the Caller Foundation Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College. Matt Trudell with you today, riding solo for the second matchup of the first night of the Black History Month weekend here on the campus of Howard Community College. For the second game, we have the Harford Community College Fighting Owls taking on your Howard Community College Dragons. Two different teams coming into tonight. This Owls team comes in 8-15 on the season, 4-6 on the road. They are dealing with a two-game losing streak. Their most recent game was on the 4th of February. They played Cecil College at home, lost 83-65. And this Dragons team comes in on a 11 game winning streak, 18-4 on the season, 8-1 in the conference, 10-2 at home. Again, their 11 game winning streak, their last game was last weekend at Frederick Community College. They won 69-57. Dragons come in averaging 76.6 points per game, giving up 58.3. That's an 18.3 scoring margin. The Owls have a 71.1 point per game. They give up 65. They have a 6.1 scoring margin. The players to watch for this Harford team include number 24, Christopher Pete, 16.1 points per game, 6.5 rebounds. Jeremiah Barnes, 12.9 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game. And then Elisha Brown, 11.6 points per game. Those are the three players that average double digits for this team. Your Dragons, Emmanuel Enriquez, averages 11.4 points per game. Sincere Barfield coming off the bench, 10.3 points per game. Enriquez has 6.1 rebounds per game is his average. Arthur Roche, 9.6 points, 7.1 rebounds. And then also you have to watch Anthony Jami, 8.6 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game. Again, this Dragons team is on a 11-game winning streak, and you would expect them to come out with the victory against this team that's 8-15 and continue their streak. Both the men and women's team have games tomorrow as the second day of doubleheaders for this special Black History Month weekend. So stay tuned for that. They play at 4 o'clock tomorrow. The women's team plays at 2 o'clock tomorrow. I don't know about you. I'm excited. We haven't called a game in a couple weeks. Last game we called was on the 29th of February when Potomac State came to town. Dragons won 71-54. Both the men's and women's team are playing Delaware Tech tomorrow. So, keep an eye out for that. But we have one more game tonight, and let's get excited about it because, again, you have the Dragons taking on the Fighting Owls of Harford Community College, a team that Coach Smelkinson knows really well. He used to coach. He started at Howard Community College, went to Harford, and then came back to Howard Community College. Let's do the starting lineups, starting with the visiting Owls. A 6'1" sophomore guard, number 0, Amari Curtis. A 6'1" freshman guard, number 5, Zach Kirk. A 6'4" freshman wing, number 14, Emmanuel Ortiz. a 6'6" sophomore forward, number 24, Christopher Pete, and a 6'7" sophomore forward, 25, Bastian Calderon Buccioni. And for the Dragons, a 5'10" sophomore guard, number 1, Jaden Johnson, a 6'3" sophomore guard, number 4, Truth Norton, a 6'4" sophomore guard, number 11, Emmanuel Enriquez, a 6'2" sophomore guard, number 24, Christian Dean, and a 6'7" sophomore forward, number 35, Anthony Jami. The Owls are coached by Solomon Zurier, assisted by Ernest Hawkins, Keon Claiborne, and Joshua Rice. The Dragons are coached by head coach Mike Smelkinson. He's assisted by Will Thomas, Almaraz Jr., and Cole Harshman. We're going to step aside for his starting lineups, and we will be back for the opening tip-off of the second game of tonight, where the Fighting Owls take on your Howard Community College Dragons. We'll be back. All right, back here in Columbia, both starting lineups have been announced. Both teams are on the court ready for this opening tip-off. It will be Buccioni versus Anthony Jami to start this opening tip. And buckle up, we are going to have 20 minutes of this first half, 40 minutes total of this game. And we're underway. Jami tips it down to Enriquez. Dragons will have the first possession of this game. Dean. And now Jaden Johnson. Sitting up at the top. Gets it to Dean. Now Enriquez. Norton thought about a three. Gets it down low to Jami. Jami drives across the lane. Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson thought about a three. He's going to step back deep too. Gets that to go. Beautiful shot by Jaden Johnson. And the Dragons have the first bucket of the game. Now some pressure by the Dragons. But Pete is able to get out of trouble. Now Ortiz with the ball. Has to swing it over to Curtis. And now Curtis over to Pete. Pete's going to drive. Kicks it all the way out to Curtis. Curtis drives in the lane. Floater gets it to go. 2-2. Both teams successful in their first possession of this game. And now Jaden Johnson brings up the court. Pretty much no problem. Now Norton. Just going to swing it over to Dean. Now Enriquez. back to Johnson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Dean looking for some help. He's going to move to his right. Spins back around to his left. Has to get over Enriquez. Enriquez is open for three. Too strong. Gets his own rebound. Throws it off of Curtis, but then it hits him. And so it will be Al's ball. 18:33 left in the first half. And the Owls will have their second possession of the game. Gets it into Kirk. Dragons playing the 2-2-1 press. Now Kirk gets it across the line to Ortiz. Ortiz gets it, and a travel is called on number 14, Emmanuel Ortiz. And that is all due to the Dragons' pressure. Just took an extra step before he was able to unload it on Buccioni. And now Johnson gets it across the line. Enriquez, good move to his right. Tough shot, no good. Gets it blocked twice. And then it goes out of bounds off of Harford. So it will stay with the Dragons. Shot clock will reset to 20 seconds. And Dragons will have another opportunity in their half-court set. Johnson throws it out to Trude Norton. Now Norton's going to drive, picks up his dribble, swings it out to Johnson. Deep three, no good. Jami tries to tap it to himself, but Kirk comes down with the rebound for Harford and gets it up to Pete. Pete hop steps, no good in the lane. Jami comes down with the rebound, and now Johnson gets it up to Dean. Dean's going to just fire off a three, rolls in and out, and now Amari Curtis with the rebound brings it up the court for the Owls. All the way over to Kirk, right in front of Coach Smelkinson. He's going to have to get it to Ortiz, and then Kirk will get it back. Kirk wanted to drive to his right, decides against it. Now Curtis over to Pete. Pete will shoot a three, miss everything. It drops to Christian Dean, and Dean's going to push it up to Johnson. Johnson's going to take it all the way. He gets blocked, but he also catches him on the arm. So Johnson will go to a line for 2 free throws. First foul of the game is going to be called against, I believe, number 5, Zach Kirk. I'll wait for the official call. It is the official call. Johnson goes to the line. 76.2% free throw shooter. First one. Gets it. Nothing but net. 2 changes coming in for Hartford. Number 22, Aaron Redmond, and number 32, Masson Ure come into the game for number 25, Buccioni, and who else took a seat? I will get back to you on that one. Oh, Amari Curtis. Both free throws are good for Johnson. 4-2 is the score. Dragons up 2. 17:06 left. Kirk needs to get it up to Ortiz. He just gets it across the line. Throws it over, but it is out of bounds. Again, the Dragons' pressure force another turnover. Now number 3, Romel Williams will come into the game for Emmanuel Ortiz. And now Enriquez gets it into Johnson, and we're back underway. Norton over to Jami. Now Dean. Dean spins, goes around the defender, goes baseline. He trips, so he gets it out to Enriquez. Enriquez swings it out to Norton. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Norton going to drive baseline, has to bounce it out to Jami. Jami loses it, but gets it back, and he's going to drive baseline. Gets it to the other side to Dean, and Dean's open for the opposite side of the basket. Layup, and gets it to go. Dragons up 4. Now Williams, dealing with this Dragons full court press, gets it over to Kirk. Kirk leaves, then a turnover on the pass from Ure. Enriquez picks it off, and then Enriquez is going to go the whole way. Left-handed layup off the glass, gets it to go. Now Pete looks to inbound it, gets it into Williams. Williams middle to Pete, and then Kirk is going to bring it up the left-hand side. Now drops it off to Pete. Williams left open for 3. Misses it. Jami comes down with the rebound, and now Johnson pushing it the other way. And he's just going to back it out. Norton kicks it out to Dean. Dean's going to drive baseline. Misses the shot at the hoop. Hits the ground hard. Rebound goes to Ure. And now Kirk going to push it up for the Fighting Owls. Spacing issue for the Owls, but Williams is able to recover, and they're going to reset. Inside to Pete, out to Kirk, who's open for three. Misses it. Rebound drops to Enriquez. And now Jaden Johnson going to bring it up the court. Dragons playing some tough defense, but some open shots have been missed by the Fighting Owls early on. And there's going to be two more players coming into the game for the Owls. Down low to Dean. He gets fouled, so he will go to line for two. Ortiz and Curtis will come back into the game. It is a media timeout, so we're going to step aside. 14:47 left in the first half. Dragons up 8-2. We'll be back. All right, coming out of the media timeout, the foul was on number 22, Aaron Redmond. That's his first, team second. Christian Dean goes to the line for 2 free throws. He comes into today a 64.7% free throw shooter. Misses the first one. Leading scorer, Jaden Johnson, 4 points, 2 from the free throw line, 2 from a regular shot. Christian Dean has 2. Emmanuel Enriquez has 2. On the other end, the only 2 points are scored by Amari Curtis. Dean makes the second free throw, stretches the lead to 9-2. 7-point lead for this Dragons team. Curtis now dealing with the pressure. Has to take it up the middle, gets it over to Williams. Williams is trapped as soon as he gets across the line, gets it to Ortiz, who just came back into the game. Now Curtis loses his footing, was able to recover. 10 seconds on the shot clock, just like that, with this Dragons' tough defense. Now Curtis kicks it out to Ortiz. Now Curtis deep three, misses it. Enriquez gets the rebound, and now pushing it the other way is Johnson, just like that. He hesitates, kicks it out to Norton. Norton thought about a three. He's going to drive, kicks it out to an open Dean for three. In and out, no good. Jami gets the rebound. And then a fake hesitation pass by Norton. He misses it. But then Dean gets the offensive rebound, turn around and kisses it off the glass. Dragons up 9. Now Williams has to get it to Curtis. Curtis thought about attacking the line, but he saw he was going to get trapped. So now Williams and a 10-second call. Dragons defense holds up just long enough. And now 3 changes are made by Harford. Pete comes back into this game. Nicholas Kazakos comes into this game. And it looks like Kirk is going to come back into this game. And now Johnson gets the inbound pass, and we're back underway. Norton down low to Dean. Dean, tough shot, can't get it to go. Pete gets the rebound, and now Amari Curtis pushing it the other way, and they desperately need a basket on this possession. Kirk now Inside to Ortiz, baseline to Pete. Pete gets fouled and will have a chance at an N1 play. Christian Dean out of position, commits the foul. So Pete goes to the line. First free throws of the game. Pete, the leading scorer of this team, 16.1 points per game. He is a 74.2% free throw shooter. Christian Dean picked up his first foul. He will take a seat on the bench, and Arthur Roche comes in. Pete again, 74% from the line. Gets the friendly roll, so it's 11-5. Dragons are up by 6 points. Sincere Barfield will look to come in at the next stoppage of play. Enriquez needs True Norton to come back. He comes back, gets the pass from him. Then Norton's going to drive, dumps it off to Jami. Jami slips, but they call travel right before he gets it out of his hands. Barfield comes in for Norton. So now Ortiz will be along the baseline looking to get in. Dragons still running the 2-2-1. Curtis gets the inbound. He's going to have to get it up. He gets it up to Kazakos. And now they're able to settle it across the line, getting it back to Curtis. Now Kirk. Baseline three for Pete with the hand in his face. No good. Johnson gets the rebound. He's going to push it up. He slows it down. Then spins. Tough shot. No good. Ortiz gets the rebound. Possibly wanted to slow it down there. Curtis, tough shot, no good. Pete gets the offensive rebound. Gets Jami in the air. Jami commits the foul. No good on the shot, so Pete will go to the line for 2 free throws. So 2 free throws coming Pete's way. Jami picks up his first foul of the game. Both teams are sitting with 2 fouls apiece. First free throw is good. Next possession, the Dragons want to find a chance to get a high percentage shot. Stop the little run that Harford is going on. It's now 11-7. Dragons with a 4-point lead after a hot start to lead 9-2. Now Barfield over to Enriquez. Enriquez gets his defender out of his feet. It then misses the deep 2, but he is fouled on the shot, so he would go to line for 2. Is immediate timeout, so we're going to step aside. I'll let you know what the foul was when we get back. 11:55 left in the first half. Dragons up 11-7. All right, coming out of the immediate timeout, the foul was on number 15, Nicholas Kazakos. That's his first. Enriquez will go to the line for 2 free throws. Leading scorer of this game so far tied. Christian Dean with 5 points. Same with Christopher Pete. Dragons stretch their lead from the free throw line. Not a friendly roll for Enriquez for the first attempt. Gets the second one to go. Now Curtis. Dragons still running the full court press. The shot clock did not start, so they're going to have to reset. So Ortiz will restart, gets it into Curtis. Dragons again still putting the pressure up. Curtis goes all the way down to Kazakos. It goes off of him and then almost saved by Enriquez, but it goes off of him. So it will be Fighting Owls ball, 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Baseline, Curtis looking to inbound it. Has to get it into Ortiz. Ortiz trying to post up. Jami steps in, misses the shot. Battle for the rebound. He gets the offensive rebound. Then he gets blocked by Jami. And it drops to Johnson. Johnson wants Barfield to go to the other side of the court. Roche gets it inside to Johnson. Now Jami, nice little move, but he gets pickpocketed. And Kazakos heading the other way, gets it to Curtis. Curtis, his pass is stolen away by Jami. Now Roche's going to push it up the left-hand side. Split two defenders, go around. Tough shot at the hoop, no good. A little bit of a wasted possession by the Dragons, up 12-7. And now Curtis gets a pick from his teammate. Now Ortiz thought about a three. He's going to drive, bounces it back to Pete. He loses it, and Enriquez pushes it up to Johnson, who gets it to Barfield, and Barfield gets the right-handed layup to drop. And just like that, Dragons up by 7. Kirk gets it over to Kazakos. And now Kirk, they're able to get past this press now at this point. We'll see how long the Dragons continue it. Harshman and Dean will come back into the game for the Dragons' next stoppage. Ortiz kicks it out, baseline three for Kirk. Gets that to go. Dragons lead cut to 4. First three made by anybody in tonight's game. Goes to the Fighting Owls. Johnson over to Barfield. Back to Johnson. Halfway through this first half, Dragons have a 4-point lead. Barfield's going to fire off a three. Gets it to go. Good shot by Sincere Barfield, and the Dragons are going to get right back into that press. Now Curtis. Over to Kazakos. Kazakos good drive. Misses the shot off the backboard. Pete gets the offensive rebound. Misses the putback, and Enriquez comes down with it. Wasted opportunity. Roche hesitates. He drives and then gets the easy layup. Well, contested layup at the basket to go. Now Kirk needing some help. Gets it in the middle to Ortiz. Back to Mari Curtis, who gets it across the line. But so much time is being wasted having to deal with that. Now Kazakos thought about a three. Now he'll take a deep two. Misses it. Roche gets it up to Barfield. Barfield throws up the oop. It goes off the front of the rim. And then it goes out of bounds off of Kazakos. Harshman and Dean come in for Enriquez and Jami. So Dragons going to run a small lineup on this go-around. Timeout is called by the Fighting Owls. It's a 30 seconds, so we're going to stay with you. Dragons 7 of 18, 38.9% from the field. Harford 3 of 16, 18.8%. Both teams have hit a three. 1 of 7 for the Fighting Owls, 1 of 5 for the Dragons. Dragons are 4 of 6 from the free throw line. The Owls have hit all 3 of their free throws. Dragons have forced 5 turnovers to their 2. They have 4 points off of turnovers to 0. They're out rebounding the Owls 14-10. And if we look, Dragons Barfield has 5 points off the bench. Dean has 5 points. On the other side, Christopher Pete has 5 points, and Zach Kirk has a 3. And that is where we stand after this 30-second timeout. 9:01 left in the first half. Dragons are up by 9 points. It's Dragons ball. Christian Dean will have it along the baseline. Dragons will have 23 seconds left on the shot clock. And we are underway. Roche gets the inbound and gets it back to Johnson. Now Barfield. Johnson calls out a play and then drops it off to Dean. Barfield to Roche. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Running out of time. 5 seconds. Johnson with the ball in. Goes the other way off the hesitation and then gets the floater to drop. Tough take by Jaden Johnson as the shot clock was running out. Dragons up 11 points, first double-digit lead of the game. Kirk gets it up to Pete. Pete throws it back to Curtis. Curtis, left-handed layup, no good. Dean gets the rebound, and then he's going to push it up court, gets it to Barfield. Barfield's just going to stop and pop a three. Too strong, no good. Dean taps it off the backboard and then is able to get it back and get the basket to go. So just like that, Dragons up by 13. They're going to call a foul on Sincere Barfield. So the foul will be on Sincere Barfield. That is his first foul, team's third. So now Redmond will get it into Kirk, and we're back underway. Curtis over to Williams. Back to Curtis up the middle to Redmond. Now Williams has it, and then they can slow it down. Curtis sets it, but we're already down to 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Inside to Pete. Pete turnaround jumper, gets it to go. Nice footwork by Pete. Turn around, got a shot to drop for him and end the bleeding. So Dragons now up 11 points. Johnson over to Dean, now Barfield. Back to Dean. Dean's going to drive. He needs help. He gets it stripped away. Now Pete comes up with the steal, gets it to Redmond, and then Johnson picks his pocket. He's waiting, drives baseline, gets the right-handed layup to go. So big play by Jaden Johnson. And now Curtis gets it to the other side to Pete, and they took advantage of Christian Dean had to tie his shoe. So 25-14, 6:58 left in the first half. Barfield gets it across the line, drops it off to Roche. Now Dean back over to Roche. Roche's going to drive to his right, has to kick it out to Johnson for three. No good, but Dean's right there to get the rebound and drop it in. Now Williams. Curtis. Curtis throws it over to Williams. Now Kirk for three. No good. And Johnson has it. Drops it back to Roche. Roche travels. So turnover on the Dragons. Jami's going to come back into this game. He will come in for Roche. It is a media timeout, so we will step aside. Dragons are up 13, 27-14, 6:21 left in the first half. We'll be back. All right, Matt Trudeau back here with you coming out of this media timeout. Christopher Pete and Christian Dean are tied for leading score. Both have 9 points. Jaden Johnson has 8 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And we are back underway. Amari Curtis gets the inbound. Now Curtis looking for some help. Now Williams back over to Curtis. Back over to Williams. Now Curtis getting harassed. He's going to drive, kick it out to Pete, who's open for three. No good. It almost goes out of bounds, but it's saved by Ure. And then they have to stop because they reset the shot clock, but it did not hit the rim. So we have to see where we're at. There's 4 seconds left, so it'll be the Owls ball along the baseline. Curtis will have it along the baseline. Looking to inbound it. Has to get it in to Ure. Now Curtis throws up a wild shot. No good. Harshman gets the rebound. Immediately gets it to Dean. Dean just going to head the whole way. Misses it. Partially blocked. Now Curtis going to take it the other way. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Anthony Jami. And Amari Curtis will go to the line. Emmanuel Enriquez will come back into the game for the Dragons. So Curtis goes to the line. He's a 56.8% free throw shooter. And he has 2 coming his way. Gets the first one to go. Jami's going to take a seat for Enriquez. So Jami's second foul. So something to monitor as we keep going. Curtis' second free throw gets that to go. So 27-16, Dragons up 11 points, 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. Barfield gets it over to Johnson. Now Dean looking down low, but he's just going to drop it back to Johnson and then Barfield. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Barfield dealing with some pressure, and then he turns it over to Williams, and Williams is going to have an easy basket on the other end. So a little bit of a lackadaisical pass from Barfield. So Barfield's going to bring it up the court. Gets it to Dean. Dean splits 2 defenders and then just misses the shot on the other side of the hoop. And Pete comes down with it. And now Curtis. Dragons lead is cut to 9. They can get it closer on this possession. Williams now. And his pass is tipped away. Enriquez tips it over to Barfield. Barfield loses it and then is able to just get the basket to go after he regains control of it and makes it a double-digit lead again. Now Dragons playing some pressure. Kirk needs help, gets it up to Ure. And now Curtis misses the shot. They're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on Colin Harshman. Amari Curtis will go to the line. The basket will not count.
Our foul is on number 10, Colin Harshman. That's his first.
It's Colin Harshman's first foul, team's 5th foul. Curtis gets the first one to drop. Gets the second one to drop, so back down to a 9-point lead for the Dragons. 4:10 and counting left in this first half. Johnson brings it up, gets a pick from Harshman, and then it gets tipped out of bounds by Kirk. Savion Gowder's going to come in for Colin Harshman. To be Dragons ball. Right on the sideline here. Gets it into Johnson. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson down low to Enriquez. He can't handle the pass, and now Ure's going to push it the other way. Then he gets it over to Williams. And Williams gets the ball stolen away from him by Enriquez. Enriquez throws it up to Dean, and Dean gets the right-handed basket to go off the backboard. Now Kirk to Curtis, over to Kirk. He gets it across. Dean gets his hands on it. It's going to be Dragons' ball. Before Johnson could get to it, it already went out of bounds. A media timeout, so we're going to step aside. 3:34 left in the first half. Dragons up 11, 31-20. We'll be back. All right, both teams heading back out on the court. Dragons will have the possession. No more media timeouts for the final 3:34 of this first half. Christian Dean will look to inbound it. Christian Dean, the leading scorer of this game, 11 points so far in this first half, 5 rebounds as well. Johnson now gets it across the line. Inside to Enriquez, who kicks it out to Dean. Little high for him, so he couldn't shoot it. Now Barfield spins out of trouble. Step back. And good defense by this Owls team coming out of this timeout. Johnson gets it over to Enriquez. Enriquez goes in the middle, and then he tries to get it off to Gowder, but he's fouled on the pass. He's on the ground for a little bit, but he seems to be fine. He might have taken some contact to the face. It'll be Dragons' ball. Are they going to give it to him on the shot? They are. He passed it to Gowder, but they're going to give him the free throws. So Enriquez goes to the line for 2 free throws. First one, gets that to go, nothing but net.
Mason Enriquez, that was his first with the team scoring. Manuel Enriquez to the line, shooting 1 more.
Dragons up by 12. Gets the second one to go, up to 13 points. Their largest lead is 13, so they tie their largest lead. Now Curtis back underway. Gets it over to Williams. Williams gets it up to Ure, and now Pete baseline to Ortiz. He gets blocked by Dean. It goes out of bounds off of Dean. So we'll stay with the Owls. And now Curtis looking to inbound it off the baseline. Gets it to Williams. Williams will shoot a right-sided baseline 3. No good. Pete gets the offensive rebound. He goes up with it, gets the roll to go. And now Johnson dealing with some pressure, but the Owls are going to back off. Now Barfield. Dean's going to drive to his left, go baseline, misses the shot at the hoop, gets his own rebound. Turnaround jumper, gets that to go. Christian Dean is on fire in the first half. Up to 13.6 rebounds. I mean, actually, I think it's 13.7 rebounds at this point. Ure now. And he throws it away to Dean, so had a steal to Dean's stat sheet in the first half. And then Johnson Baseline three, no good. Rebound drops to Ortiz. 2 minutes left in the first half. Dragons up 13. Curtis now gets a pick from his teammate. Does not work in his favor. Gets another one. Doesn't work in his favor. Barfield gets his hands on the pass, and Dean gets the steal. Back-to-back steals by Christian Dean. Now Barfield drives all the way, misses the shot at the hoop, but he is fouled. He will go to the line for 2 free throws. The foul is going to be on 32. That is Mason Ure. That's his second foul.
Harford fouls on number 32, Mason. That was his second.
Barfield now at the line for 2 free throws. First one does not get the friendly home bounce. It just rims in and out. Ure's going to take a seat. Coming in for him is number 22, Aaron Redmond. Barfield, second one gets the friendly swish on that go around, and now Curtis to Williams. Back over to Curtis, up to Redmond. They get it across the line. Redmond picks up the dribble, needs some help. Throws it over to Curtis, just lucky. Enriquez almost got his hands on it. Now Williams, Redmond's going to drive baseline. He gets it knocked out of bounds off of Christian Dean. So it'll be 13 seconds left on the shot clock. It will be Al's ball. Roche's going to come into the game for Gowder.
Arthur Roche.
And now Curtis looking to inbound. And they are going to call a foul, I think, on Enriquez. We'll see. It is on Enriquez. And they get bailed out. They're going to have a 20-second shot clock. That was Enriquez's first foul. Williams looking to inbound it. Has to get it out to Redmond, but it's picked off by Dean. And Dean's going to go left-handed off the glass. So Dean, 3 steals in the past few minutes, and he is now up to 15 points in the first half. Curtis now drives. Tough shot, no good off the front of the rim. Roche ends up with it, and he is fouled by Williams. More seems like a frustration foul. Way too far from the basket. So it'll be Dragons ball along the baseline. Roche will inbound it. 38-22. Dean gets the inbound. 1:09 left in the first half. Johnson calls out a play, gets it over to Dean. The hot hand. Dean's going to drive, spin, and then he gets fouled on the hand, so he will go line for 2. Foul is on number 24. That's Christopher Pete. That is his first foul. Dean does not get the first one to go. Probably one of the only blemishes on his first half so far. He's just taken and put the Dragons on his back in the first half. 16 points so far. Makes the second free throw. Now Dragons putting some pressure up. Now Redmond gets it from Kazarkos. And then Johnson pickpockets Redmond. The Dragons have a chance for a twofer. Johnson spins, gets stripped, stolen away by Pete. Pete drops it off to Ortiz. And then Ortiz gets it up to Pete. Pete passes it to Redmond, but he wasn't ready for it. And then Roche blocks Redmond. So they're going to have to spin it back out. 27 seconds and counting. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Kazakos over to Williams. Now Pete for 3. No good. Goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Owls. They will have 5 seconds on the shot clock. 15.5 seconds on the game clock. And Kazakos will look to get it in bounds. Gets it into Williams, but Williams steps out of bounds. So it'll be Dragons ball. We're going to have a timeout on the court. Coach Smelkinson calls a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here with you. So Christian Dean, the man of the first half, 16.6 rebounds. On the other side, Christopher Pete, 11.6 rebounds. Outside that, Dragons, both Johnson and Barfield, 8 points apiece. And then on the other side, Amari Curtis, 6 points, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And that's really Harford, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Dragons, 8 of 12. Both teams have hit 1 3, 1 of 11 for the Owls, 1 of 8 for the Dragons. A Dragon shooting 46.9% from the field. Harford, 7 of 29, 24.1%. So Coach Smelkinson likely drew up a play. I'm wondering, you got some options here. Enriquez, Barfield, Johnson, but you also have Dean, who's been the hot hand in the first half. So let's see. He's going to inbound it into Johnson. They have 13 seconds and counting. Johnson gets a pick from Enriquez. Johnson kicks it out to Roche, who's going to have a baseline three. No good. The rebound drops to Barfield. He gets it to go. And that is the end of the first half. Williams is down on the ground, so we will take a look at him coming out of the halftime. But he is down on the ground hurting. Dragons are up 41-22, a 19-point lead. We'll be back for the start of the second half.
Howard Community College is where dreams take flight and opportunities are boundless. No matter where you are in life, you'll have a college experience that fits your needs. Receive support through more than just financial aid, tutoring, and childcare assistance. Gain momentum with accelerated courses and faculty who care. Experience a vibrant community where friendships are formed, passions are pursued, and memories are made. When you graduate, you'll have the degree, skills, confidence, and connections to thrive in today's ever-changing world. Explore endless possibilities in Dragon Country. Discover more at howardcc.edu today. Harford Community College is where dreams take flight and opportunities are boundless. No matter where you are in life, you'll have a college experience that fits your needs. Receive support through more than just financial aid, tutoring, and childcare assistance. Gain momentum with accelerated courses and faculty who care. Experience a vibrant community where friendships are formed, passions are pursued, and memories are made. When you graduate, you'll have the degree, skills, confidence, and connections to thrive in today's ever-changing world. Explore endless possibilities in Dragon Country. Discover more at howardcc.edu today.
All right, welcome back to the Caller Foundation Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College. Game 2 of the Black History Month weekend celebration here, where the men and women's teams both have 2 games. The ladies' game already completed earlier tonight at 5. They beat the Fighting Owls women's team. Now the Dragons have a 19-point lead coming into the second half. Looking to continue what they did in the first half, played some really tough defense, forced 14 turnovers, 17 points off turnovers to 2. Christian Dean, the star of the first half, 16.6 rebounds. Sincere Barfield coming off the bench, added 10 points, second leading scorer. On the other side, Christopher Pete, the only double-digit scorer, 11.6 rebounds. It will be the Owls' ball to start the second half. And we will have Emmanuel Ortiz come over, and he will inbound it likely to Amari Curtis. And the second half is underway. 20 more minutes here in Columbia unless overtime is needed. And just like that, Enriquez gets a steal on Curtis's pass. He misses the dunk. And the rebound drops to Pete. Now Kirk had an open 3, passes it up. Now Ortiz Needs some help, drops it to Ure. Ure kicks it over to Ortiz. He will take a three this time, and he gets that to go. So first points of the second half belong to the Owls. They cut it to a 41-25 point lead for the Dragons. Now Norton over to Enriquez. Christian Dean. Now Norton drives, kicks it out. Jami had it, but passes it up. Then he gets harassed and then is able to somehow get it to go. They wanted to travel by the Fighting Owls. They might have had a case there, but it was close. And now Ortiz dealing with some pressure. Now Kirk gets it across the line over to Pete. Good job by the Owls to be able to break that press. Now Kirk out to Ortiz. He's going to shoot a three. Misses that one. Jami gets the rebound. Ramel Williams is likely out of this game. He was down for a while during halftime, and they got him off the court kind of right before the other teams came back out. So we'll monitor that, but I would be surprised if we see him again. And then maybe a makeup call. It looks like Jami picks up the travel. And so just like that, Dragons up 18 points. Kirk now has it. Back to Curtis, up to Ortiz. And now across the line, Ure thought about a three on the baseline. Then he bounces over to Pete. Pete turnaround jumper wide to the right. Ure just taps it up and in and gets that to go. And now Johnson calling out a play for the Dragons. Now Norton's going to drive baseline. He has to back it out. Dean for three. No good. Rebound drops to Curtis. And now Curtis going to move to his left-hand side. Swings it over to Kirk. Baseline stolen away by Dean. Dean all the way up to Norton, and Norton gets the right-handed layup to go. What a pass by Christian Dean off the steal. And now Curtis up the middle, and it just so happens to go off of two Dragons, but a 10-second call. So good defense by Dragons. Both Dean and Enriquez kind of shouldered the ball back to Curtis, but he ran out of time. So it'll be Dragons ball off the turnover. 18-point lead. And Norton will be right in front of his coaches looking to inbound the ball. And he gets it into Dean. Dean spins. He's going to drive baseline, gets it over to Jami. Jami baseline jumper, no good. Pete comes down with the rebound, and Kirk is going to push it up. Gets it to Ortiz. Now Pete back out to Curtis. Kirk goes up, partially blocked by Jami, and Jami comes down with it. And now Dean gets it over to Johnson. Johnson tells Dean a play, and they're going to settle it down once they get across the line. Dragons can stretch it to a 20-point lead here. Dean going to drive, spin. It goes off of the foot of Ortiz, and they get the steal. And now Curtis is going to drive, kicks it out to Pete. Pete might have got away with an extra step. Ure's going to shoot a three, no good. And then Dean can't handle the rebound, goes out of bounds. So we'll stay with the Owls. Curtis will have it. Baseline, gets it into Kirk. Inside to Pete. Pete's just going to fire off a shot real quick. Gets that to go. And now Johnson brings it up. Gets it across the line to Norton. And now Enriquez. Johnson. 13 seconds on a shot clock. Jami now with it. Over to Norton. Norton hesitates, then drives baseline. Kicks it out to Enriquez for three. No good. And then they're going to call a foul, I think, on Jami. So the foul is on Anthony Jami. That is his third.
That's his third.
A media timeout, so we're going to step aside. 45-29, Dragons up, 15-44 left in the second half. We'll be back. All right, we're back here in Columbia. Dragons coming out showing a bit of pressure defense, a 2-2-1. Pete gets it into Kirk. And now Curtis. He's got to start moving. He's running out of time. Now Kirk gets it over to Ortiz. He just gets it across. And then Dean with another steal. And now he gets it up to Johnson. Christian Dean is on fire. Carrying over from the first half. Enriquez to Dean. Now Johnson. Johnson's going to drive, kicks it out to Norton. Norton thought about a three. Now he's going to drive, fakes the pass, can't get the shot to go at the hoop. And now Curtis is going to take it the whole way. Gets around Jami and gets the bucket to go. Dragons lead cut to 14. Johnson. Now Norton. Dean will shoot a three. Misses it off the front of the rim. And now Curtis pushing it the other way. Curtis thought about charging in, but he backs out. He's calling for a teammate. Cycles it over to Kirk. Now Ortiz. Down low baseline, left open is Pete, but then he gets blocked by Jami. Now he needs help. He gets blocked by Jami again. Now Ure running out of time, and that is a shot clock violation. Excellent defense by Anthony Jami to get 2 blocks, especially with him having 3 fouls. Barfield's going to come in for Johnson. Again, Barfield was the second leading scorer of this team going into halftime. See if he gives a spark. The Dragons only scoring, I believe, 4 points in the second half so far. Yeah, they're outscored 9-4 so far. Dean now to Barfield. Barfield, good defense by Curtis. Then he's got to just shoot a crazy fadeaway jumper. No good. Pete comes down with the rebound. Now Curtis gets it across the line. Now Pete. Inside to Ortiz. Ortiz is going to drive, spin, and then misses off the front of the rim. Enriquez tries to battle for it. Now Jami tries to battle for it. They're letting them play. And now under 10 seconds left, Kirk now has it. And that they call a blocking foul on Christian Dean. I think he might have a bit of a gripe. It looks like he took a forearm to the face. That is Dean's second foul, and they get bailed out. There's 20 seconds now on the shot clock. So Kirk will have it on the sideline. Oh, we're going to get a little bit of mopping duty with all the bodies hitting the ground. So we're back underway. It will be Kirk, Zach Kirk, will look to inbound it. Amari Williams is coming out of the locker room. Looks like he's in a regular t-shirt, so we'll monitor it. Kirk gets the pass back from Curtis. Then Ure, point from the top three, gets that to go. And Dragons' lead is cut to 11, so they got to stop this bleeding here soon. They were up to 19 was their biggest lead. Dean baseline to Barfield. Barfield gets around the defender, and then he travels. And Jaden Johnson's going to come back into this game for Truth Norton. So now Johnson, Barfield, Dean, Enriquez, and Jami be on the court for the Dragons. Pete will inbound it to Curtis. And now Curtis gets it over to Kirk. And now Ortiz gets it across the line just in time. Now Curtis gonna get a pick. He splits two defenders, drives, and gets a tough shot to go. Curtis has brought a spark to this team here in the second half. Barfield now. Lead is 9. Enriquez hesitates, drives, kicks it out to Johnson for 3. No good. Johnson comes down with the offensive rebound, misses the reverse layup. Jami comes down with it, and they're going to call a foul. And, Coach Zurier is not happy. He probably wanted a jump ball, which I think, might have had a gripe. Foul is going to be on number 32, that's Ure. Coming in for Ure is Buccioni. Oh, actually, it looks like the foul's on 24, Christopher Pete. That's his second. But Ure does come out for Buccioni. Now, Johnson gets it into Barfield. Barfield's going to fire off a 3 and gets it to go. A much-needed basket for the Dragons, and Sincere Barfield is now up to 13 points in this game. Kirk gets it to Pete. Now Ortiz across the line. Ortiz almost gets picked, but now Pete has it. He misses the shot. Dean comes down with the rebound. And now Enriquez, baseline, deep 2, no good. Rebound goes to Pete. And now Curtis, gonna head down, get around Dean, misses it, and it wedgies. The foul's on Dean, that'll be his third. An immediate timeout, so Dean picks up his third. 2 free throws coming Curtis's way when we get back. 48-36, Dragons up 12, 11:34 left in the second half. All right, Matt Trudeau back with you here in Columbia. Free throws coming out of this media timeout. Dragons are up 12 points. Their largest lead of the game was 19. Harford has not led this game at all. And Amari Curtis, who now has 10 points, goes to the line. 4 for 4 from the line today. Misses the first one.
Timeout. Howard fouls on number 24, Christian. That's his third. Maury Curtis to the line, shooting one more.
So can cut it to 11 if he makes this. He does. He is up to 11 points on the game. And now Roche, who just came back into this game for the Dragons, gets it into Johnson. Roche came in for Dean, who just picked up his third foul. Roche's going to drive. Has to kick it out to Barfield. Barfield gets a pick, and he's going to take a three. No good. Rebound drops to Ortiz of the Owls. Now Curtis over to Pete. Pete splits two defenders. Now Ortiz has to get it out to Kirk. Kirk for three. Gets that to go. And the Dragons' lead is down to 8. And their fans are getting a little loud in this building. Now Enriquez to Barfield. Barfield spins, gets a crazy circus shot to go. And a much-needed basket for the Dragons, back up to a 10-point lead, 50-40. Kirk now. And then Ortiz is able to get it over, and then a foul is going to be called on Roche, I believe. We'll see. It is on Arthur Roche. That's his first foul. Kirk gets it in to Curtis. Ortiz. Now Kirk. To Curtis, he splits two defenders, throws up a shot, no good. He gets the rebound and then gets that to go off the backboard. 8-point lead halfway through the second half. Dragons are up by 8 points, 50-42. Now Enriquez gets it poked away by Ortiz. Jami goes on the ground. It's a battle for the ball. They're going to call a jump ball, I would imagine. And it will be Dragons ball. Coach Zurier is not happy. Wanted a foul call. Ure is going to come in for Buccioni. It'll be Dragons ball off the possession arrow. Johnson just has to throw it out to Jami. And then Jami hands it off to Johnson. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson gets it down low to Jami. He's got to get it baseline to Barfield for three. No good. Roche misses the putback, and then Pete comes down with the rebound. Now Curtis gets it across the line over to Pete. Pete's just going to shoot a three. No good. Rebound drops to Roche with excellent body positioning. Now Barfield to Roche. Roche thought about a three. He's going to drive. Misses the shot. Jami gets the rebound, but it's stolen away by Kirk. And now Kirk, looking for some help, gets it over to Curtis, who gets it down low to Pete. And then a baseline three for Curtis, misses everything. Jami gets the rebound, and now Barfield heading the other way. Spins around, gets the layup to go, left-handed. Big take by Sincere Barfield. He's had 2 major baskets recently. Just out of Emmanuel Enriquez's reach, and then Ure gets an opposite reverse layup to go. And so a timeout was called on the floor by Harford. It's a full timeout, so I'm going to step aside. 52-44. Dragons are up by 8 with 8:19 left in the second half. All right, welcome back here to Columbia. So Amari Curtis and Christopher Pete are both tied with 13 points apiece. They're leading their team. The highest score outside of that is 7 points for Mason Ure and 6 points for Zach Kirk. Dragons, Christian Dean, 16 points. Sincere Barfield, 17 points. Jaden Johnson, 8. And Emmanuel Enriquez, 5 points. It will be Dragons ball out of this timeout, up by 8 points. Again, their lead was as high as 19. Barfield over to Dean, who's back into the game. Now Roche. Johnson throws it down low to Barfield. Excellent vision. An excellent finish by Barfield. And it's back up to 10. Barfield last 6 points for this team, if I'm correct. Kirk now over to Curtis. Now Kirk. Pete, no good on the shot. Roche gets the rebound, and now Johnson. Over to Roche, now Barfield. Roche's going to drive. Misses the shot at the basket. Kirk gets the rebound. He's going to push it up himself. Gets around defenders, and then Jami blocks him. Now Ortiz. Buccioni, who's back in, gets it over to Curtis. Now Ortiz thought about a three, gets it back to Curtis. Under 10 seconds left. Ortiz will shoot a three this go around. Too strong. Barfield comes down with the rebound. And now Johnson pushing it. Barfield over to Roche. Now Johnson. The Owls have really played some tough defense this second half. And as I speak that, Kirk gets the steal off the deflected pass. He misses it, but a foul is going to be called. The foul is going to be on Jaden Johnson. Kirk will go to the line for 2. Media timeout. So that is Jaden Johnson's first foul. We have free throws for Kirk when we come back. Dragons up 10. 54-44, 6:40 left in the second half. We'll be back. All right, welcome back. Coming out of the media timeout. So Zach Kirk with 7 points will be shooting his first free throws of the night. He has 2 coming his way. Closest it has been 8 points. So far the Owls have not been able to get over that hump, but they have played really well this second half. Makes the first free throw. Has really hurt the Dragons offense. Sincere Barfield has really picked up a big role. I believe he's up to 19 points. Yes, he is. Both free throws good for Kirk. Back to a 8-point lead. Johnson gets the inbound from Roche. Now Barfield. Johnson now, 15 seconds on his shot clock, gets it to Jami, hands it off to Roche. Roche thought about driving, now Dean has it, gets a pick, He's going to take a 2-point shot right around the free throw line. Misses it. Battle for the ball. It goes out of bounds off of the Owls, so it'll be Dragons ball still. Baseline, Dragons will have it. Inside to Roche. Good play by Johnson, and Roche gets the easy 2-point bucket off the inbound pass. Now Ortiz back to Curtis. Up to Kirk. Kirk has to throw it across to Ortiz. And now Curtis gets it back. Curtis gets a pick, swings it over to Pete. Now baseline 3 for Kirk. Misses it. Dean knocks it out of bounds. So it will be Owls ball. 20 seconds left on the baseline. 20 seconds on the shot clock. It resets because they hit the rim. So now Ortiz kicks it out to Kirk. He's going to take a baseline 3 on the other side and gets that to go. Just like that, it's a 7-point game. Dean now. Barfield going to drive. Tough shot. No good. And now Dean gets a steal. Another steal by Dean. He falls on the ground, but gets it up to Roche. Roche's pass a little errant for Barfield. Just a little rush there. So it will be Al's ball, down by 7. It's the closest they've been. His team was down 19 points at half. Now Ortiz gets the inbound back to Curtis. Back to Ortiz. He's going to throw it across. Norton almost got his hand on it. Norton came in for Barfield. Curtis gets around the pick and the defender. Jami blocks it down to Enriquez. Enriquez getting trailed. He splits 2 defenders. He gets fouled. Gets that to go, but it's not going to count. So foul is going to be on 24, I believe. That's Pete. It might be his 3rd. We'll wait for the official call. Yes, it is his 3rd. Christopher Pete picks up his 3rd foul. It'll be Dragons ball along the baseline. 26 seconds on the shot clock. Nice pass inside to Dean. Dean gets the shot to go. Jaden Johnson, 2 very smart decisions on these past 2 inbound plays. Led to 4 points. Dragons leads back up to 8. Kirk now gets it. Ortiz, the pass was a little behind him, but he's able to salvage it. Now Curtis gets it over to Kirk. Back to Curtis. Curtis is going to split the defenders and gets the left-handed layup to go. Good pick set by his team. 7-point lead for Dragons. Under 4 minutes left in the second half. All the credit to this Owls team battling after being down 19 at half. Having a tough season, but they are definitely in this game late. Norton, fadeaway jumper, no good. Ortiz is able to salvage it. Now Curtis being guarded by Norton. Gives out to Ure. He thought about a 3. He's just going to drive. Drops it off to Pete. Pete, floater, off the front of the rim, no good. Jami gets the ball, and they're going to call a foul on Ortiz. It's unfortunate for him. Him and Jami's arm just kind of got locked together and caused Jami to fall. So we're going to step aside for the final media timeout. Dragons up 7, 58-51, 3:18 left in the second half. We'll be back. All right, back here in Columbia, coming out of the media timeout. 3:18 left. Dragons are up by 7 points. Mari Curtis up to 15 points for his team, 5 rebounds. Christian Dean up to 18 points. Sincere Barfield with 19. It's Dragons ball. Dealing with a little pressure from the Owls. Dean gets it. He gets it across to Norton. Norton's going to just slow it down, get it back out to Johnson. Dragons still need to look for some quality shots and get some points. They do have the clock in their favor, but it is way too close for them to become complacent. It's been a hard battled second half for them. Johnson over to Norton. Norton drives, gets it poked away, and it's stolen away by Ortiz. So now Curtis on the other end. Swings it back over to Pete. He's just going to take a three. No good. Dean comes down with the rebound. Johnson throws it down low to Jami, who was open. He misses it, misses the putback, and then he gets another opportunity and gets that to go. And Anthony Jami found the perfect time to get his first points of the game. I'm sorry, his third and fourth points. And then a 10-second call on the Owls by the Dragons playing really good defense. So just like that, they're up by 9, have a chance to stretch it back to double digits. And they have done really well coming out of this media timeout. The Truth Norton will have it just to the right of me to inbound. And he gets it into Johnson. Johnson spins, gets it to Norton, down low to Enriquez. Enriquez, nice little spin move, right-handed off the glass. And the Dragons, just like that, are back up to an 11-point lead. Now Kirk. Pete over to Ortiz, just out of the stretch of Norton. Then Curtis drops it off, but it's stolen away by Dean, and then Norton goes and gets the right-handed layup to go, contested, and up to 13 points with a minute and a half left in this game. Now Pete throws the oop, but it's blocked by Jami. He taps it down to Enriquez, and this is just what the Dragons needed. Enriquez now harassed, he gets fouled. So it'll be Dragons ball baseline. You know, and the only drawback of this game so far for the Dragons is they weren't able to come out hot in the second half. They have a game tomorrow at 4 o'clock, so you would think they'd want to go deeper on their bench. But, you know, you got to secure this victory. It's a Region 20 matchup. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here with you. You know, Dragons have forced 23 turnovers to their 14. They're leading 23-10 points off turnovers. The rebounding game is evened out. They have a 1 rebound lead over the Owls. Blocks 9-5 in Dragons' favor. 16 steals to 9 in Dragons' favor. 23-9 bench points. Second chance points, it's only 1 point difference. Dragons lead by 1, 17-16. And points in the paint, 48-22. 16-6 on the fast break points. Barfield has been great coming off the bench. 19 points for this Dragons team. Some really crucial buckets as their lead was dwindling. He found ways to get some crucial points here. Christian Dean only 2 points in the second half, but it was a big bucket. And now Jaden Johnson will look to get it inbounds. Gets it inbounds to Enriquez, and he has a two-handed slam. And that is 3 straight inbound plays where Jaden Johnson made the right decision, and the Dragons got easy baskets. Curtis's pass is picked by Norton, and Norton gets the right-handed layup. And just like that, it's up to 17 points, and we have 1 minute left in this game. And this game is not what the scoreboard makes it look to be. And that's a turnover by the Fighting Owls. It goes off of Pete's leg. This game was just a 7-point game a couple minutes ago, and the Dragons have stretched it to 17 points. And they are under a minute, so they are looking like they're going to win this game. Dean for 3, no good. Rebound goes to Kirk. Dragons are going to improve to 19-4 on the season, 11-2 at home, and extend their winning streak to 12 games. Just what a run they're on right now. Pete can't handle the baseline pass. It'll be Dragons ball. 30.4 seconds left. They might just get the shot clock violation, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, Dragons 19-4. They'll have a game tomorrow against Delaware Tech. So stay tuned for that, weather permitting. Again, they're going to improve to 19-4, 11-2 at home. They are now on a 12-game win streak. This Harford team battled really hard today. Like I said, the scoreboard is not indicative of what happened here in the second half, but they will fall to 8-16. They will be 4-7 on the road. Oh, they're just going to call it game. So their losing streak increases to a 3-game losing streak. So we will be back tomorrow, weather permitting. First game at 2 p.m. The women's team will take on Delaware Tech. And at 4 o'clock or 20 minutes after the women's game, it will be the Delaware Tech men's game. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. I have been Matt Trudell, and I hope you all have a good night. We'll see you next time.